to a new episode of Ready, Set, Ascender. Bienvenidos a su programa bilingüe de ACC Ready, Set, Ascender. Soy Alejandra Polchik, manager de Ascender, coming to you from ACC TV Studio in the Austin Media Center. ¡Feliz Año Nuevo! Y como dijo mi madre santa, frijoles con huevo. Estamos una vez más aquí deseándoles lo mejor y conectándolos con los recursos de Ascender, de ACC sobre todo, para empezar el año nuevo con el pie derecho. Y aquí está conmigo mi gran amiga Diana. ¡Feliz Año Nuevo, Diana!
Feliz Año Nuevo, Ale, and Happy New Year, everyone. I'm so happy because we wrapped up 2023 with a big bow and big celebrations at ACC, ¿verdad, Ale?
Claro que sí. Tuvimos un año muy productivo, lleno de bonitos eventos que enriquecen la vida estudiantil de nuestros Ascenders. Y solo para hablar del mes de diciembre hubo 3 eventos en los que Ascender estuvo presente. La posada del programa, un tour, un college tour, y participamos en la conferencia Somos el futuro de la organización con Mi Madre. Nada como cerrar el semestre de esta manera y lo mejor de todo, Diana, comiendo tamales. Cuéntanos, Diana.
Tamales, of course. We cannot have an end of the semester celebration without tamales. I mean, who doesn't love an excuse to eat during the holidays?
Qué rico.
So at our annual posada, our Ascender students and mentors were able to reflect on the semester. You know, the good, the bad, and what they plan on doing differently this spring. And I have to say, the highlight of the night was watching them do a white elephant gift exchange. It got really competitive and it was so intense.
Sí, fue muy divertido ver cómo los estudiantes cambiaban y robaban los regalos. Se pusieron bien salvajes y cómo compartían el tiempo con sus mentores. Fue muy lindo.
Yes, and then the following day, in collaboration with Transfer Services, we took our Ascenders on a college tour to Texas State and Concordia University. Not only did we learn about the campus life and transfer process, but we also got our daily steps in before the morning was over.
Híjole, fue todo un workout. Caminamos bastante. Yo todavía estoy adolorida de eso. Aprendimos bastante, Diana, sobre estas instituciones y las oportunidades que tienen para los estudiantes. Y al día siguiente fuimos a una conferencia muy especial creada por la organización Con Mi Madre, que empodera a las mamás y a las hijas hacia el camino universitario.
Yes, Ascender was invited to give a presentation on the power of mentorship. With the multiple motivational talks, community resources, and interactive experiences, it would have been impossible to leave that place without feeling empowered. So yes, we ended the year highly motivated and are ready to turn the page in this new chapter. And speaking of new chapters, let's talk about New Year's resolutions. Ale, ¿cuáles son tus propósitos para este año?
Híjole, pues mis resoluciones son leer más, como siempre, hacer más ejercicio, pero ¿sabes qué? Reírme más.
I want to add that to my list now and laugh more. And you know, I did have some time to think about it throughout this break, but I would say I want to focus more on my mental health.
Good.
I want to travel more and perhaps pick up a new hobby.
Claro que sí. Viajar es muy importante para explorar nuevos horizontes y nuevas formas de vida. Pero ahora vamos a ver qué onda con las noticias de ACC y de nuestra comunidad. ¿Vamos, Diana?
Sí, vamos. To kick off our news rápido, did you know there are free English as a second language courses at ACC? ESL courses help non-native speakers learn basic English that supports student goals for career advancement, college, high school equivalency, and family and community.
Esto es una súper noticia para empezar el año con el pie derecho, así como lo dije al principio, ya que el dominio del idioma inglés te abrirá las puertas a la universidad y obviamente a tu vida profesional. Es importantísimo que sigamos practicando nuestro español, pero siempre estudiando para dominar el inglés. Estas clases son impartidas en los niveles de principiantes y son flexibles para las personas que trabajan.
So students advance at their own pace through 4-level classes that teach you writing, reading, listening, speaking, and pronunciation. And the best part is that classes are smaller in size, and there are plenty of fun activities incorporated for you to practice what you're learning.
¿Y hay algunos requisitos, Diana?
You know, that's a great question. ESL students must be at least 16 years old, and you need to currently live in Austin Community College service area. There are other requirements you must meet, and there is an application waitlist, so we encourage you to visit austincc.edu/ESL for more detailed information.
Y otro recurso educativo que queremos mencionarles son las clases en el programa de educación continua o Continuing Education. Estas clases son diseñadas para que estudiemos por hobby, por diversión, para desarrollar una nueva habilidad o para recibir entrenamiento que mejore tu desempeño en el trabajo. ¿Cuáles clases tiene este programa, Diana?
Yes, so ACC's Continuing Education Department offers a wide range of courses, whether you want to begin a new career, develop a technical skill, or learn how to play the guitar.
Ay, qué padrísimo.
There are 94 programs to choose from. You can just visit the website below for more information.
Estas clases son fabulosas, Diana. Déjame decirte que yo misma he tomado clases en este departamento y me he divertido y he aprendido bastante. Una de las clases que tomé fue gramática en inglés, muy buena. También tomé francés y hasta clases de meditación. Y otro recurso, otro que tiene ACC que descubrí recientemente es que tenemos nuestra propia granja sostenible en 17 acres en el campus de Elgin. Y organizan un mercado de agricultores en el campus de Elgin los lunes y en el campus de Highland los miércoles. Bien bonito.
Yes, so you heard that right. Another continuing ed resource is our own 17-acre sustainable student farm at the Elgin campus, where they put on a farmer's market at the Elgin campus on Mondays and at the Highland campus on Wednesdays. These farmer markets are open to students and to the public. And Ale, I love this because, you're getting fresh, chemical-free produce grown at ACC's own farm at the Elgin campus and all part of the Agricultural Science Department.
Sí, ACC ofrece un programa de agricultura sostenible que tiene diferentes opciones. Si estás interesado en dedicarte a la agricultura o a la jardinería, hay un certificado en agricultura sostenible y también un programa de premio institucional de custodia de tierras para el agricultor aficionado y un premio de jardinero ecológico.
That's wonderful. And I love that we offer ways to learn about ecological farming, quality of life, and farmer profitability. Ale, check this out. They even have their own social media.
Wow.
So you can find more information and, just hit click to subscribe.
Y esto cubre la parte del Departamento de Educación Continua.
In other news, we know finding a job requires time, a strategic approach, and tons of resources. And ACC's Career Service offers a free 4-week course called Strategies for Today's Jobs, where you'll learn more about finding job openings, write a successful resume, and land interviews in this digital era. It is a month-long course that offers comprehensive job search strategies and one-on-one coaching support to help you, get your next great job.
Sí, este curso que se llama Estrategias para los Trabajos de Hoy, o en inglés Strategies for Today's Job, es un mini curso de 4 semanas que te ayuda a prepararte para que hagas tu currículum vitae, también hagas o tu resumen, practiques para las entrevistas de trabajo, ya ves que te pone uno bien nerviosa, y puedes tener tu coach que te prepare para tener el trabajo que tú quieres. Y mencionaste que es gratis, ¿verdad, Diana?
Sí, es gratis. The Strategies for Today's Job course is free and open to new and current ACC students. And for more info on this course, check out the Career Services website, austincc.edu/career.
Y en otras noticias, ACC ha anunciado que tendremos nuestra feria Adulting 101, donde la gente puede asistir a aprender en talleres y participar en visitas guiadas para que conozcas los campuses, puedes escuchar de panelistas muy interesantes sobre su experiencia. Diana, cuéntanos más detalles sobre este evento que se celebra el 1 de marzo en el plantel de Riverside a las 10 de la mañana. Por supuesto, es gratis y abierto a todos.
Yes, Adulting 101 is an event that will take place at the ACC's Riverside campus beginning early morning at 10 a.m. on Friday, March 1st, 2024. This event goes over the skills needed to be a successful inside and outside the classroom, and it is free and open to the public. This is the perfect opportunity to explore workshops through different tracks like financial, career, and self-care to help you successfully navigate adulthood. And for more information, visit austincc.edu/adulting101.
Estos son algunos recordatorios sobre los muchos recursos que ACC ofrece a nuestros estudiantes. Ahora cambiemos nuestro enfoque a la comunidad, comenzando con algo maravilloso, Diana, el Carnaval Brasilero. Nos encanta una fiesta de baile divertida. ¿Te gusta bailar samba?
If I like to dance samba, I would love to learn. I don't know, but I'm willing to learn. Maybe a New Year resolution. So if you love to dance and you love costumes and celebrating Mardi Gras Brazilian style, this event is for you.
Sí, se lleva a cabo anualmente en febrero y en este año, en el 2024, se llevará a cabo el 3 de febrero en el centro de Austin. Este evento existe desde los 70s. Es muy alegre, muy divertido, muy festivo.
So visit the Carnival Brasilero website to get tickets and more information on this annual celebration that takes place in February. The costumes will be worth seeing, and I'm sure, Ale and I want to go, but
Claro.
Ale, have you ever visited the Mardi Gras in New Orleans or been to the Carnival Brasilero here in Austin?
No, I never been, but this time I will be there. Vamos a poner nuestros zapatos. I can't miss it. Es una gran oportunidad para estar ahí.
Yes. So, there you go. A new excuse to go and grab our dancing shoes and get out into the community and join in the fun.
Y Ascender también tiene muchos eventos gratis para el público y para nuestros estudiantes participantes. Pero, ¿cómo podemos enterarnos de esto, Diana?
Well, I'm glad you asked. So Ascender has free events for current ACC students and some for the public. From sex education sessions to informative DACA sessions, we bring dynamic experiences to everyone. So visit austincc.edu/Ascender and be part of the excitement this year.
Sí, claro, eventos como clases de educación sexual, sesiones informativas sobre DACA, sobre nuestros derechos, eventos familiares como el Día de los Muertos, sesiones de liderazgo, en fin, la lista es muchísima. Los invito a que visiten nuestra página de internet www.austincc.edu/Ascender. Y ahora vamos a conocer a nuestra estudiante invitada.
Today we're thrilled to feature Lavi Steffens first, or Lavi, a passionate Ascender student majoring in business administration with a minor in marketing. Lavi has combined her love for travel with capturing life's special moments through her YouTube channel, where she shares her travel and student exchange experiences. What's fascinating is how this platform has opened doors to incredible opportunities, and today Lavi is here to share more about her journey with us.
Sí, bienvenida Lavi. Ella es una Ascender student de Brasil que ha viajado gracias al programa Au Pair y con su canal YouTube nos enseña cómo viajar, aprender, hacer amigos en otros países. Muchísimas gracias por estar aquí, Lavi. Cuéntanos de tu experiencia. Hemos preparado unas preguntas para ti and the first question is coming from Diana.
Again,
Thanks
welcome.
for having me.
Bienvenida.
Yeah.
Well, we're really excited because we want to get to know you a little bit more. Like, where are you from and how did you end up here at ACC?
So I was born and raised in Brazil, and when I was 16 years old, I decided to move to United States to do a high school program. 16, yes.
You were a
Didn't know
baby.
how to speak English, didn't know anyone here, but I decided to get out of my comfort zone and just, experience something new. And I ended up going to Indiana, and I was there for a year. And while I was there, I decided to create a YouTube channel to share my experiences in the United States. So when I went back to Brazil after my program was over, I found out that there was a lot of people interest on the program because they saw my videos on YouTube channel, and they talked to the agency. So the agency said, since you help us with the YouTube channel, now we're going to give you a new exchange program. So I ended up coming back as an au pair.
Chica, but you were too young. I understand that you travel a lot. And tell us about your experiences, what places you have visited besides Indiana, and do you have more plans to travel more?
Yes, for sure. I think travel is in my blood because I just love traveling. And last year, as an au pair, I went to 13 states in a year because as an au pair, it's really good because you get to travel with the family because au pair is basically like a living nanny program. So I was living with an American family and I will travel with them and also travel with friends. And I definitely plan to travel more because it's just something that I love to do. It's my favorite hobby. And I think my favorite place here in the United States is probably San Diego. It just reminds me of Brazil, so I love it.
It reminds you
Yes, I And I also lived a year in Dallas and a year in Boston. And Boston is also a really good place, and I love Boston. That's why I ended up here.
So we know you travel a lot. But, as a college student, there's a lot on, students' plates, school, work. Why would you recommend students to travel or even consider, study abroad?
Yeah, I think traveling is always good because it's a good way for you to disconnect and take a break. So you always get to meet a lot of people and meet new cultures. And I think that's also a really good thing for everyone.
Claro. So you have your YouTube channel. I'm a fan. Tell us about it and how you started developing your videos and how you started developing yourself in that platform.
Yeah, so when I moved here, the first time to do my senior year of high school, I decided to create this platform because before my exchange program, I would always search it up on YouTube, Brazilian students in the United States because I wanted to see how their experience was. And when I moved to the United States, I decided to do the same to inspire future students and also to share my experience with friends and family in Brazil.
That's so sweet.
Yeah, that's how I started.
They're amazing.
Thank you.
I'm about to go subscribe. But, congratulations, because you completed your first semester at ACC, and that's a big accomplishment. But, you were part of the Ascender program. Why would you recommend Ascender, or, what was the highlight of Ascender?
I think the highlight is just the community, everybody. It's literally like a family. I feel like really good being part of the Ascender program. And also the professors, they are amazing. I used to take 2 classes. I took 2 classes on the first semester. And my professors from Ascender are my favorite ones. They are so nice. And also my classmates, it was always super easy to make friends.
Your professor, was Carse Dubose and Professor Amber Sarker, right?
Yes. They are awesome. I love both of them.
And she was very active in all the events. And you attended our posada.
Yes,
will you tell us a little bit about the posada and your experience?
It was so fun. So fun. We played some games. We played the bingo. I actually ended up winning that. I was like, today I'm going to win. And it was really fun. It's always super fun to be in those events.
I love that you're sharing that, and now that we're like in the new year, 2024. Do you have, resolutions or new goals for this year?
Yes, I actually do. I want to keep working on my grades because I plan to transfer to UT, and for that I need a good GPA. So I want to keep my grades really good. And then I always, as I said, I always like to share my content, like my life in the United States, on social media, and I plan to start posting even more.
Excellent.
That sounds really exciting. Yeah. But you're going to continue with ACC this spring semester, and I was wondering, you're more familiar now with the resources ACC offers. Is there a specific one that really caught your eye and you're like, this resource helped me a lot?
Yes, I love the accelerator and the learning lab. I think it's a great way to get help. And I used to go there all the time after classes.
That's where students live.
Exactly.
Tell our audiences, please, how we can find your social media.
So my Instagram page is Lavi Steffens, just my name and last name. And on YouTube, I'm not really posting a lot, but if you still want to check out the videos from my high school program, they're still all there. And it's also Lavi Steffens.
Excelente. Muchísimas gracias. Obrigado.
Obrigado. Yes.
Thank you so much. You're inspiring me to continue traveling, which is one of my New Year's resolutions. So thank you.
Yeah, of course. Thanks for having me.
Segment En la Comunidad, we're featuring a non-profit called Con Mi Madre, una organización que empodera madres e hijas para educarse y perseverar.
We love to see our community empower mothers and daughters in education. Let's go check it out.
Vamos a verlo.
Hola amigos, we are here with Dr. Johanna Moya Fábregas, the Executive Director of Con Mi Madre, a nonprofit organization that empowers daughters and mothers, and it's just headquartered here in South Austin. Thank you for joining us.
Yeah, thank you, Diana. I'm great and super excited to be here.
Thank you so much. And first, I would like to say that the organization itself, I'm really fond of it, just because I have a strong relationship with my mom, and I really wish I knew about this when I was, growing up. But, would you tell us a little bit more about yourself? Cuéntanos un poquito más de cómo entraste en esta posición como...
Sí, claro. Well, first, the mission of our organization, I connect to it directly, the focus of supporting young girls and their moms in achieving a higher education or navigating that process. I feel that personally because I moved to this country as a teenager at 14. So there were many people in the community where I live that stepped in and gave me a hand and helped my parents. So it's really a privilege to be in a role where I get to do that for hundreds of students and their families, and to have an impact, on generations to come.
Would you be able to elaborate more about the mission of Con Mi Madre and what it stands for, the importance of it?
Yes, at Con Mi Madre, we support young girls and their moms in the process of navigating the road towards higher education, to see them obtain a post-secondary degree and enter the workforce prepared and have a generational impact. Our program started in the 6th grade, and we follow our students all the way through college graduation. How we got started, how all of these projects started that became a nonprofit, we started as a small Junior League of Austin project in 1992 in response to a very sad statistic that a Latina baby from a low-income family had less than 1% chance of getting a college education or graduating from college. You know, the founders of the organization thought that it was important to have a very culturally affirming, culturally appropriate approach and work not just with the students, but with their moms as well. The moms are usually the pillars of the family, and the moms have a very strong emotional impact on what young girls achieve.
I like how you emphasized the familia. You know, it starts with the family, and you need that support because you're receiving it at home, but involving them in the process is very powerful. And will you tell us more about the benefits, what are the services, los servicios que se ofrecen en la comunidad?
Yes. Y te voy a hablar un poco de la familia también, porque muchas veces las mamás, los papás, la familia que está acá son familias inmigrantes, no han tenido la oportunidad de ir a la universidad, no han tenido la oportunidad de navegar, aunque hayan ido a la universidad en otro país, no saben cómo navegar el proceso académico acá. Entonces se descuentan ellos mismos. Muchas veces las mamás dicen, bueno, yo no fui a la universidad, ¿qué le puedo ofrecer a mi hija? No sé nada. Y lo que nosotros tratamos de enfatizar y comunicar a las mamás, la importancia que su apoyo emocional tiene para que las niñas alcancen sus metas y sigan en la universidad una vez que están ahí. Entonces, por eso la familia es muy importante. Ahora, sobre los servicios que ofrecemos, tenemos dos partes de nuestros programas. Una parte es dentro de las escuelas durante el día escolar, y la otra parte que fuera de las escuelas son conferencias, viajes. Dentro de las escuelas trabajamos con las niñas desde el 6º grado hasta que se gradúen del high school. O sea, si empezamos con un grupo en el 6º grado, las seguimos hasta la graduación. Y nuestras coordinadoras imparten un currículo que hemos desarrollado que se enfoca mucho en trabajar desde adentro. Empezar por afirmar que el estudiante tiene lo que se necesita para llegar a sus metas, que su cultura vale, que sus experiencias son válidas, y ayudarlos a soñar. Y después de ahí nos vamos enfocando ya en una parte más académica de guiarlos de cómo solicitar a la universidad, visitar universidades, todo ese tipo de cosas lo hacemos en conjunto. En los programas fuera de las escuelas tenemos una conferencia que se llama Somos el Futuro. Le ofrecemos a las estudiantes y a sus familias una oportunidad de explorar todas las opciones que existen. Si el estudiante quiere ir a la universidad inmediatamente, tiene universidades ahí representantes. Si quiere entrar en el mundo laboral, hacer un associate degree o algo más corto, tiene opciones. Si quiere comenzar su propio negocio, también hay opciones. Y si quieres saber cómo navegar todo ese proceso, porque yo fui a la universidad, nadie me enseñó cómo solicitar un trabajo, cómo hacer una entrevista, cómo presentarme en un lugar. La idea es poder guiar a nuestras estudiantes con todo ese apoyo. We also do college trips every year. We take the moms and the students together. It's not just to see a college campus, which is very important, not just to take a tour, but it's to demystify for the moms sometimes this process that they're very afraid of sending their daughter somewhere and not knowing. Yeah. They're like a different country many times. They're in a different space. They're like, well, are they going to be safe? By the time they graduate, they would have been to at least 6 to 10 universities with their mom. So that sense of feeling confident on what that looks like, what that's going to feel like, it's already embedded in them by the time they're applying to colleges. And we also organize panels for the moms and the students separate at the schools whenever we can, so they can ask questions.
The more you keep talking about this, it's like, can I join con mi madre? Is it too late? I just loved it. And, I would love to join, but already graduated. How can other people get involved?
Volunteering. We have a lot of people that show up to one event and then they fall in love with the organization and then they keep coming back. The other way is donations, $10, $15. We have a student, an alum from Mi Madre, who works now at the University of North Carolina, and she sends every month a $15 donation. And I called her because I didn't know her. I was like, why are you involved? Like, I want to know you. And she told me, I'm a graduate of Mi Madre. I'm from Austin, and the organization has had a huge impact in my career and in my success. And I've been waiting till I have a little bit of a disposable income so that I can give back. And we have a bunch of fundraisers throughout the year, online and social media, and a big gala where we celebrate our champions in the community. We hear from our students, and we party to celebrate our success, and we raise funds for our programs. So.
Do y'all have any plans for the future?
One of the things that I continue to hear and see is that there isn't quite any other organization that does the work that we do. And there's a big need for that type of support beyond Austin, beyond Texas. So right now, we're in the process of developing an evaluation of our program to show that we're a research proven model or method of doing this work, and we have an impact, so we can start looking at expanding beyond Texas.
Well, you heard it here. There's so many ways you can get involved: volunteering, donations, and being an active member of our community, and just empowering one another. So thank you so much for having us today.
Thank you so much, Diana. It was a pleasure.
Muchísimas gracias a nuestra estudiante Lavi, a la organización Con Mi Madre y a ustedes por ver este episodio con nosotros. Y para cerrar, no se olviden de visitar la página de Ascender, www.austincc.edu/ascender. Y recuerden que en ACC te puede ayudar a lograr tus sueños, porque en ACC empiezas aquí y llegas lejos.
Thank you, ACC TV, for producing this episode. And remember that you can watch this show and many others on ACC TV broadcast channels. And be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Thanks for watching.
Adiós.